guys. This is a general reading for the collective of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Welcome, cross watchers, and if you're new to the channel, happy to have you join us. I am pulling from Divine Feminine Oracle. We are in Taurus season. Taurus is ruled by Venus, so this felt like a good oracle deck to select for this series of readings. Whoops. Just FYI, in case you missed it, I did do the May 2025 Love Tarot Energy Update for the month. And that's good for the whole month because I take it week by week for your person, for you, for your connection. It is time stamped so that you can see the tarot reading first, and then I go through all the astrology for the month sort of superimposed on that tarot so that you can sort of follow along, go back and check in each week to see what might be going on in the cosmos, as it sort of does reflect what we're often experiencing here in 3D. All right, so that's up. You can check that out. Okay, here we go. Miao Shan, the Princess of Mercy. Well, hallelujah. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. She is quite lovely and beautiful. I know the lighting is a little difficult. I love the cat there, the big cat. So the energy of the universe is merciful. That is a tiger. She's got butterflies around her, cherry blossoms. She's holding an apple. I know it's just the graphics are hard to see in this light. Lovely. I am getting a lot of light right now, aren't I? Let me just see if I can get the exposure down a bit. There we go. A little better? Okay. So that's a nice message. The Princess of Mercy guiding you right now. I love that for you, Sagittarians. It has been a little bumpy, but seems to be easing up now that all planets, well, most planets are direct. We have one that's now in retrograde. Saturn is now moved into Aries, so that's a decidedly different energy. More for the collective, but it's a social planet. So things might get a little inflamed. All right, I'm doing a different spread, so let's see your energy, your person's energy, the connection, divine message and opportunities. Let's go. Ooh, the moon. Maybe some apprehensions. What's crossing you here? The Seven of Pentacles. If it's crossing you, that's maybe talking about things taking a long time. Patience could be running thin, or things that are unfolding very organically and thus slowly. Gives you a lot of time to kind of build up some worries, some anxieties, some fears here for your person. Page of Swords, interesting. And what's crossing them is Temperance. Well, that is Sagittarian energy. So for those of you that are here as a cross watcher for a Sag, that would sort of line up for you, but it doesn't matter. So again, it's a timing reference, which is kind of neat, that you're both, this person may be struggling with going with the flow. You know, they're very curious. They sort of want to know what's going on. They want to have more information before they either speak or communicate to you or look you up or whatever's going on, reach out. Temperance usually is about going with the flow, and the Seven of Pentacles is about things unfolding slowly and organically. Both of these cards are patience cards. And it's interesting that you're both being crossed right now by themes that are about patience. That's kind of interesting. I'm going to call that some mirrored energy. Let's look at the connection. Five of Swords. Yeah, there might be some energies of defeat here, or feeling set up or sabotaged, a little zero-sum game being played or being sensed. Like the longer things take to kind of resolve or sort themselves out, the more we sort of go to, this doesn't feel right, I feel like this might not work out in my favor, or I'm being set up for a fall. So we'll have to see what the clarifiers say. The divine message from Spirit is this, the Star, which is a reference to, like, you know, you gotta have some trust and faith here. Don't lose hope. You know, trust that the universe has your back, that the wish will be granted, whatever that wish is. So it is a healing card. It is sort of also that sense of there's a bigger plan, perhaps. So sort of stay in that sense of it's the world isn't against you, it's for you. And the opportunity, yeah, Six of Cups. Because I picked this as an opportunity and not so much as an outcome, I'm looking at it from, well, if we're struggling here, if we've got some fears or insecurities being triggered, some apprehensions, some worries, if we have some curiosity and we're looking at the connection from this, like there's a lack of trust here, right? We've got some trust issues, and the divine guidance is about, you know, don't lose hope here. You got to work on the trust. You got to have faith and trust. And the opportunity is to remember who you are to each other, is to come back to that sense of, you know, the innocence and where it felt easy, where you came together and it was instant recognition, where it was like, I feel like I've known this person forever, and maybe I have in another lifetime. Right? There's something about that can kind of bring you back to center, bring you both back to center, and restore that energy of patience that's sort of giving you both a little bit of a challenge right now. Okay? So that's a storyline I'm working with. Let's jump in and get some clarity to it. The Moon and the Seven of Pentacles. There's the Empress, that is Venus, there's the Five of Wands, and the Star. Okay, so you haven't lost hope, which is good. You're responding to that divine message, albeit from your unconscious awareness, and that's okay, but you've been really patient throughout all the conflict, and it can be an outside source of conflict for some of you. Remember, this is a general reading, not a private reading, so you have to take it as it speaks to you. Yeah, there could be something that's going on here outside of the connection, and that could be any number of things. It can be people, it can be distance, it can be, you know, beliefs, it can be, you know, but whatever it is, it's action, right? It's drama, it's a little chaotic, or conflict, or tensions being pushed upon the connection, and then it can sort of rise up between you, but it doesn't always feel like it's an organic problem between you. So it's something outside of the connection, the way I see it, that often then becomes a problem between you. And that's why we've got this sense of, I don't really know what's going on behind the veil here. And because it's the Moon, it's like, I really don't know what I'm dealing with. And I've been patient, and I've been sort of kind of allowing it to unfold organically. With the Empress, it's like you're operating from that energy of openness and receptivity, and hope that there is a bigger plan that you're trusting the universe for, but you're very consciously aware that there's something afoot here, that is just too much tension. Maybe some drama here that leaves you in some emotional state of it doesn't feel good. Whew. The Five of Wands can also be competition, right? So you may have this sense that there's someone else outside of the two of you that's causing trouble, right? That's getting involved and interfering. And I'm not seeing third party, but you can have this sense of that may be a part of the problem. So your person here with the Page of Swords and Temperance as their, what's crossing them. Oh. Page of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, that Queen of Wands. I feel like this person is trying to put on a good face, right? Is kind of coming at it from this sort of optimistic, almost like yeah, it's not a big deal. We can work through it. We can handle it. But with that Page of Swords, sort of checking out your response maybe. Queen of Wands from the bottom of the deck. In this person's internal reference, there's a very strong energy here, a very strong feminine energy that isn't going to take a lot of BS. Yeah. And I feel like this, the light, the not real, intense Page of Wands, optimistic, lighthearted. Yeah, we can work it out. We got this. We can work it out. And being crossed by the Temperance card. Temperance is sort of that, we're going to go with the flow. We're going to go with the flow. We're, going to be, exercise a lot of restraint here, a lot of self-control. We're just going to go with the flow. All of this tension, all of this chaos, all that energy, it's going to work itself out in time. But if that's what's crossing this person, that means there's a challenge there, okay? So it's not being made easy for them to go with the flow. They're trying, but they're having a difficult time. And I think it's this Queen of Wands that's making it difficult for them to just kind of, they're trying to keep a positive outlook. We can work through this. So I'm getting the impression that while you see yourself as this Empress, Queen of the highest and best of all four queens, they may be experiencing you more as a Queen of Wands, who's losing patience and who's kind of really not nuts about dealing with this tension anymore. And maybe your fears and that moon energy of like, I can't live in this uncertainty anymore, is making it difficult for them to kind of just go with the flow and pat things down and keep things all nice and positive and upbeat. So whoever this is trying to kind of keep the lid on, and it's not easy for them to do that with the Queen of Wands here sort of running the show, making it a little difficult. So in the connection now, we have the Five of Swords, Five of Swords, Five of Cups, Eight of Wands, Nine of Wands. Well, I feel like we've been here before. So whatever's going on, we're looking back at the past with regrets, mistakes. even some sense of things that have sort of slipped through our fingers, right? Like, yeah, the time that we've lost here in this sort of setup. I feel like this is a conversation, communication that has happened before, and it's happening again. And so while it feels kind of sabotagey to me as I'm looking at the whole scenario, as I'm seeing it as like, here we go again. I'm getting the short end of the stick. I feel like I keep being played for a fool. I keep being set up. And I keep making the same mistake. So I almost feel like that's coming from whoever you are up here. This Empress energy is like, we're here again. And which is why it's hard for you to kind of soft pedal it for this person who's trying to kind of keep it like a positive outlook. But it's interesting that neither of you have really thrown in the towel. It's exhausting. You're stressed out by it. Obviously, the Five of Wands, the Five of Swords, the Five of Cups. You've got those difficult energies with all these fives. Yeah, it's very difficult. But with the Nine of Wands, it's a perseverance. It's like we're pushing through. It's a struggle. It's a challenge, but neither of you have yet given up. But it feels like it's very, very challenging. And the conversation almost is looking back and saying, here we are again. So at this moment, it feels I'm not going to say dark, but definitely gloomy, a little gloomy. So the divine message, we get the Star. Strength card. Six of Pentacles. And the World. Okay, so how do we move through the gloom? If we're in the energy of persevering, which is kind of playing out behind the scenes in the connection, if you who identifies as this Empress energy has the Star in your unconscious awareness, right, which is kind of like clinging to hope, right? Losing patience, but I'm clinging to hope. And now the divine message is going to capitalize on that and say, all right, if you're clinging to hope, y'all got to help each other overcome these obstacles. And part of what's going to be necessary is really focusing on the reciprocity, the mutual investment in the connection. And it has to be that you're invested 100%, 100%. It can't be, well, I'm in my 50, I'm giving my 50, and I'm giving my 50 because, and I'll tell you why. You think, all right, that sounds right, because 50 and 50 is 100. No, here's why. Because somebody's always going to be falling a little short for any number of reasons. You know, overtaxed by their job, overtaxed by childcare, overtaxed by health issues, whatever it is. Somebody's always falling a little bit short of their percentage. So if that's the case, then you're falling below the overall 100. So you've got to commit 100%, 100%. You got to go above and beyond. You got to be invested in this connection 100% each. So then you've got some wiggle room to move with. And what am I talking about with the Six of Pentacles? Six of Pentacles is about generosity. And it's not just with money, because that's resources, right? It's generosity of your time, of your energy, and yes, resources, and of your love, your heart, of your spirit. Yeah. So there's something here that will help overcome the obstacles. because it says we got some shit going on. It's like, we can't deny it. And it's something that if we look back, we're going to admit that it keeps happening. Here we are again. But if we want to get over it once and for all, we got to help each other. We got to believe and have faith that we can. And the only way to do it is to invest in this connection 100%, and be more reciprocal in how we show up for this relationship. Right? And have a solid conversation about what that means. And then you set it upon your heart and you close out this cycle. You close out this crap once and for all. You say, this cycle is done. Not doing it anymore. Not playing this game anymore. Whatever this is about, whoever it's about, we're closing it out. We're done. We're not going to pussyfoot around about it. We're not going to play nice, make nice about it anymore. We're closing it out. We've learned the lessons. This is Saturn. Saturn just moved into, what sign did I say? Aries. On fuego, right? We take action in Aries. We don't hesitate anymore. Yeah, this is Aries, Leo, Sag. This is Aries. Queen of Wands. Okay, we rise up. We feel the fire in the belly. We say no more. We're going to close out that cycle so we can have a brand new beginning because we've learned the lessons. That is your divine message. You got to have faith and trust that the universe is going to have your back through this experience. But yeah, help each other overcome the obstacles. And part of that process is this investment, mutual investment in the connection and making it more reciprocal. Okay, that's it. That's your message, which is kind of coming through as advice, right? So then the opportunity is your Six of Cups, the warmth, the comfort, the nostalgia. Remember how we met? Remember that? Remember how it felt? Oh my God, let me tell you what it felt like when we first met. I remember it like it was yesterday. Those are the things that are going to make that an easier moment. Is to go back in a memory lane on an emotional level, reconnect. You know, all those things you felt, all the things that flash before your eyes. You have to both do that. Because that's what's going to move you forward. Chariot. That's what's going to help you take the leap. And not sit there doing risk assessment because y'all been through the worst of it. Okay? And that's what's going to help you leave all the ish behind because you're not going back there anymore. Now you can move forward. So sometimes the Eight of Cups, you know, all the cards have many different interpretations. And sometimes it is about leaving someone behind. And sometimes it's about leaving behind what no longer serves you. You got what you came for in your troubles and your tribulations and your trials. And now it's time to leap forward, to make progress, to move forward together. Okay? And with that Eight of Cups from the bottom of the deck, what it's talking about is, and to move forward on the journey. And to leave all the emotional stuff that you've struggled with and quarreled over and that's been sort of, you know, pushing upon and strangling the crap out of this connection. It doesn't serve this connection anymore. Keep moving forward. Take that leap. Okay? So that's what I see at this part of the reading. I am going to go into more detail about this person, but more to kind of show you how to notice them or how to recognize them from their higher vibration versus their lower vibration. I also want you to be able to know what is hidden, something they may not want you to see, but would be helpful for you to know. Also, what they do want you to know. So what message are they trying to give you at this time, their thoughts and feelings about you at this time, their intentions towards you at this time. So that's what we're going to look at in the extended, and the links for that are below. You have 3 ways to get extendeds from me. I do that for a reason, because some people like a membership where they get more bang for their buck, and other people just want the one time. So please look, they're numbered 1, 2, 3. And if you enjoyed this reading and you haven't yet done so, please do subscribe below. That's how I get to stay on this platform and do the thing I love to do the most, which is help all of you navigate your connections, and it helps get the word out to other people just like you. All right, so thanks. Let me give you the astrology that showed up here. We have the moon. The moon is associated with the sign of Pisces in tarot. We have the Empress is Venus, Taurus and Libra. The star comes out twice. That's Aquarian energy. Our Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Temperance is Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, Sag in the Page of Wands. Queen of Wands is Aries. We have Strength card is Leo. The World card is Saturn, Aquarius and Capricorn. The Chariot is Cancerian energy. The Fool is the planet Uranus, which rules Aquarius. A lot of Aquarian energy here. So, and Miao Shan, the Princess of Mercy, giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. Now that giving is receiving, remember, we want reciprocity though. All right? Methinks we've had a lot of giving on one side and not a lot of receiving back. So we want to kind of get it going in both directions, and that's the best path to overcoming the obstacles in this connection. So I am headed to the extended. The links are below. I'll see you there in a second. Bye for now.